What's going on, S2S fam? Man, listen, I'm sure all of you guys are in just as much disbelief as we are after hearing about the tragic passing of Kobe, his daughter Gigi, and the other passengers aboard his helicopter this past weekend. I got a couple of people that reached out to me, man, in anticipation, like, man, I want to hear how you guys are going to honor, the legendary Black Mamba, man, who he was to so many people. Of course, we're now understanding how deep his legacy really is. Man, here's I guess our little apology, man. We're all over the place the last couple of days. E's out in Cali. The guys had an event this weekend in DC. So we actually recorded a show earlier that we're gonna play for you now. But man, listen, you guys know I am like seriously like one of the biggest Kobe fans. I've been a Laker fan from the Magic Johnson days. I was 16 when Kobe got drafted, so I literally grew up with Kobe. You know what I mean? Like watching him. He was a 17-year-old, a year older than me, and I got to watch him just not elevate in the game, but as a man, as a husband, as a father. Man, he showed us what happens when passion and purpose come together, what it means to truly live and go after things that, everybody else considered impossible. We talked over the last couple of days, man. Each of the guys, we shed our tears. It's just a tough one for all of us, man. And what we will do is the entire show next week, we will dedicate to the life and the legacy of Kobe Bean Bryant, man. Our sincerest condolences go out to, his wife Vanessa, his family, and then all the other families that's affected, man. This is a tough one, man. So. You guys enjoyed this week's show, but just, make sure y'all lock in with us next week. Yeah, we bringing it, so.
Most people are so, forgive me for saying this, spiritually ignorant because you'd be geeked about somebody giving you 1,000 when what the Bible says is you should be geeked about giving 1,000. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. You in the world where the world's like, somebody just gave me $1,000. Oh,
I'm blessed.
You're not blessed. You're not blessed. The Bible says you blessed when you give the 1,000, not when you receive the 1,000. Yep. Press down, shaking together, and run over.
This episode is brought to you by our partner in crime, Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, green juice, can supercharge your life, restore that glow, and help you feel decades younger in just 30 seconds per day without having to worry about shopping for ingredients, mixing and blending them, and then cleaning up afterwards. All ingredients are USDA organic, vegan-friendly, and made without GMO ingredients, gluten, or soy. Where else can you get superfoods like chlorella, moringa, spirulina, wheatgrass, ashwagandha, and turmeric, just to name a few? So make sure you guys check it out at www.organifi.com/success. That's ORGANIFI.com/success. And now to today's show.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ. Joined as always, Douglas, hip-hop preacher Thomas. Got Dr. King to my right.
Dr. King.
Listen, man, listen. They rushing me because we had to come back and do an emergency session because we figured out we weren't going to be able to get one done, so we came back. He was still in Atlanta, so we came on back, and we're going to knock this podcast out to make sure we don't miss a week.
Yeah.
And then next week, we'll be back in the studio, man. Looking forward to it. Carl going to be back, man. We can get this guy,
Let's
you know
go.
what I'm saying, up to Michigan, and we're going to make it shake. So we're going to try to give y'all a hot hour or close to it.
question.
You know what I'm saying? Our
45
video
minutes.
crew, we call it. I feel so bad for how we do it. Like, we'll just call Nick. I call Nikki at like, I call Nikki at like 2 in the morning. I'll be like, hey, I need you to meet me at the hotel. Be in the lobby. Hey, Nick, but shout out to the crew. Nick, Nikki, Jose, the whole crew, all of them. They just, I promise you, they're the best. And so that's why, we love it. So since we're, don't have a ton of time, let's just get into the important stuff.
Yeah.
My wife and I the other night, late night.
Late night.
It was late night, yeah. And, we was hanging out. We didn't have no kids with us. And I was like, you feel like doing something wild?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah. And so we stopped at Popeyes.
You feel me?
I had y'all going. Look, they all look at all. I was like, what happened? What is they doing? Like, see, wow. No. That's living on the wild side, brother. We don't eat like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a hype beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Popeye, I'm not going, standing in line. I'm not doing none of that. Bro, I have not had the chicken sandwich. I had not tasted it.
Yeah.
Had no desire to. I don't eat like fast food like that. Yeah. And I ain't no, I'm elitist. I'm not a part-time vegan, nothing like that. Veganish. I'm none of that. But I'm just not a hype beast. So I'm like, I'm out. It can't be that good. It's just a crazy sensation. So I hadn't tried it in forever. Mm-hmm. Plus, keto, all of that. Yeah. But I told Candace, I'm like, we were starving. And there was nothing open. And we just seen Popeyes. It was like a glow. You know what I'm saying? It was like the
only thing open.
Bro, the spotlight hit it. And it was probably about like close to midnight. So I was like, man, this is like a death sentence. But I was like, man, we right here. She was like, bet, let's do it. So we pull up Popeyes. Of course, it's, I ain't gonna say it's in the seedy spot of town, but it, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this could get ugly. So anyway, we go up, it's like one young lady working everything by herself. She taking orders, she doing, I'm talking about
making the sandwiches.
I said, we're gonna regret this. I'm thinking in my mind, I'd take a bite or two and I'll just call it quits. I don't want no fries, nothing. Yeah. So she was like, man, you want mild or spicy? And I was like, man, I usually go spicy, can't usually go mild. I said, do one of, each.
Yeah.
And, Cam was like, all right, cool. So we, what I'm saying, got our sandwiches, we on the road. I'm just gripping back to the crib. And I'm not a hype beast. Bro, it's the best thing I've tasted in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Bro, I am not.
Wow.
Listen, that thing, let me tell you something. I am, again, I feel like I can talk about it now. We didn't say hardly nothing about it.
No,
this
never,
ain't that kind of podcast. Yeah. We ain't about to be like, what did you think of the Popeye? Listen, bro. Listen. When I tell you, and baby girl was back there on the solo. The bread, bro. First of all, I like that crispy, crunchity.
Yeah.
Oh, I said,
crunchity.
Bro, that thing was so deep fried. I'm talking about she took the fryer to new levels.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, bro, it was.
I gotta get one.
Bro.
It's serious. It's serious.
I had one and it was whack.
Oh yeah, no, you might have had.
My wife told me. She was like, this Lansing.
Oh, yeah, no.
And you went to the wrong one. The bread was cold. No. And Didi was like, the bread is the one. Didi was like, the bread is the best part. Bro, let me tell you, the bread, like, took on the shape of the chicken sandwich. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You got Chick-fil-A, it's like bread, it like hovered over and kind of just like.
In the beginning.
Like every bite you had.
In the beginning.
Every bite, the bread just, formed with the, bro, I promise you.
Cheese, no cheese.
Listen, I definitely took.
No cheese?
Oh, no cheese.
And
it's just a little sauce with
I just wanted it straight up because I didn't want it. I was like, just give it to a standard because I want to know. And again, I'm not the dude who goes stand in line for hours for the Jordans. I'm not the dude that's about to go to Popeyes and wait all day. And so I just want to say that it's confirmed. That thing, I mean, and I love, and listen,
slapping.
I got love for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, but not like this.
Appreciate your service.
Yeah, but not this kind of.
My pleasure is appreciated. But homegirl at Popeyes was like, all right then, and just handed me my stuff.
Wow.
Legendary. So shout out to her, whoever she is. But I did have a more serious question.
Okay.
Are people really running around saying that boneless wings are better than traditional?
Yeah, they are.
Because I saw somebody hit me and said,
Chicago.
Yeah.
Bro, somebody hit me and was like,
No, it's so crazy.
They was like, I thought it was a known thing that boneless wings was way better than.
I didn't even know that boneless wings was wings.
They not.
Right.
Aha. Taste the soup.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah. I don't know what they are, to be honest with
I've
you.
always thought boneless wings was for kids. And the tradition.
So chicken fingers.
Yeah, it's chicken fingers with sauce on it, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you give it to a kid because they can't eat the bone. You don't want them choking on the bone.
Yeah.
But for an adult,
chicken. Give me chicken.
We have had some legendary chicken arguments on this podcast, including is the wing white or dark meat?
Yes.
Which we came to the conclusion it was white meat.
We always knew it was white meat. I just said it tastes like dark meat.
Yeah, but no, somebody, okay, well, as long as we're all in agreement, we didn't have to go there. But I was like, I saw a post that was like,
I thought we were about to go back to the chocolate cake thing.
I won that one. By the way, I won. Everybody in America has been like, Jay, you right?
All right.
Bro, seriously.
Everybody.
Okay, shout out to Eric, the cakewalk people.
Yeah.
Now it should be the most official source.
Right,
Shout out to the
because he's a
cakewalk.
maker.
No.
Eric is a cake
maker.
maker for a living.
Okay,
maker.
well, I went to Harold's Chicken. And shout out to Harold's Chicken. And they got little slices of cake in the front. As soon as you buy the
If you're from
food,
Chicago,
you tell 'em?
Harold's Chicken is like the Bible.
Exactly.
Right.
So I went to Harold's Chicken,
Harold's like
and
the
Harold's
Bible.
Chicken in the front, they say chocolate cake. And it's got the yellow, but
And
it's got the
chocolate on
chocolate.
top.
So right, Harold
Harold's.
told me, now I don't know who you talked to, but Harold said.
He talked to Eric. What's Eric's last name?
No, cakewalk.
What's Eric's last name?
Eric said,
Exactly.
listen, he said, hey, C, he sent me this text,
Right.
Saturday,
Eric.
December 28th. Hey, C, happy holidays.
Yeah.
He said, I might be somewhat of an expert on this subject. For it to be chocolate cake, the cake/sponge itself needs to be chocolate.
Okay.
Yellow cake with chocolate frosting does not make it chocolate cake. You're right, Jamal Lane.
Okay.
I rest my case.
Now I got
Eric?
a message from Harold. Now Harold.
Now you know Harold ain't got no cell. Harold got a cricket. Harold like, what you talking, boy?
Harold chirped.
Boy.
Hey, oh man, I told y'all, man, we getting real deep on this podcast, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
We got the
I gotta
number
go
one
back
motivational speaker in the world.
See, I gotta go back to all my teachers and ask which source is credible. Is Harold
yeah.
credible?
Or
Eric
somebody
credible?
who makes cakes for a living. So shout out to the cakewalk, man. All right, for real this time.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Man, E, you've been frustrated a little bit lately, and you hit me. It was like, oh, I know what I want to talk about when we get over here. And you was like, man, you were struggling because, again, people, and we've talked about it before, but people have this mentality of,
mentality.
I'm going to treat myself better than I treat other people. And it sounds pretty simple. It's like the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated, whatever. And I think...
Unless you sick.
No. And you sent me some texts from some people, and you was just like, yo, take a look at, how people put themselves in a space to be blessed, but never to be a blessing. And so you sent me some texts. There was one gentleman hit you, was like, hey, E, I can help you modify your whole speech. I could take you to the next level. I could do the whole thing. And my man sent his Instagram. He had about 8,000 posts and had like 75 followers. And was like, I could take your whole stuff.
He had 8.
8 followers.
8. I thought you said 8,000.
No, he had 8,000 posts.
Oh,
He had about 8 followers.
8 followers, bro.
No. I'm saying, he sent E a DM.
Said he could blow me up.
He was like, E, I'll blow you up, take you to the next level. I could rearrange your whole speech.
Yeah.
And
I'm confused.
But I mean, it was just, that was kind of like, we laughed, you know what I'm saying? That was
but
funny.
I'm saying, but he was serious. though.
But I'm saying,
He was serious.
Yeah, serious, for sure. But again, and not even that, just people in your own life who they're constantly positioning themselves to be blessed, but not necessarily to be a blessing. And let me tell y'all something, man. One of the things that people really think that I am, I guess, naive enough to be E's 2-man because he could speak well. Like, that is on the list of reasons why I rock with E, that's probably like 150th.
Out of
reason.
150.
No, I'm being for real.
I'm just saying, you gotta tell him
I'm being for real. No.
150 out of 150.
No, there's so many other reasons. And it is because, dog, E constantly, and since we met, has always put himself in a position to bless other people. And I'm trying to tell y'all, man, like, it's so crazy now when we do this, because I'm like, I know people are looking at where we are.
Right.
And it's, I feel it. Like, I feel somebody watching the podcast going, it's easy for you to say, because y'all X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But like, I would have loved to have been doing this podcast like 10 years ago when we ain't have a whole lot. When we just had each other. And I watched E on a regular, I've never seen it on E's level, right? And man, my parents have always, our house was the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, my friends who didn't have dads, my dad was their dad. So I watched my people, always bless other people, look out. Like, my dad was the type of dad where, like, he would buy, like, we had Hot and Now back in the day, and there was like 39-cent hamburgers, 49-cent cheeseburgers. My dad was the type, like, if we had like 30 of our friends in the backyard playing basketball, like, you couldn't come in and eat on your own. He was like, no, everybody got to eat or you ain't gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? He'll go buy like burgers for the whole neighborhood. So I grew up watching my people be a blessing. But even more so from this journey that we're in entrepreneurship and all these other things, I've watched E be a blessing to people and constantly put other people's needs before his own. So last night, Maul and I were talking, and I was telling Maul about the story of me and Candace getting together. You know what I'm saying? And so it was funny because Maul was like, man, so Candace knew E first? You know, like, the timeline always gets kind of messed up. And I think about all the sacrifices that, you know, E made, you know, just to get this squad where it is. But the biggest one, imagine this. I'm E right hand, and the one thing E tell me is there's no dating in the organization. No dating. That was like his biggest rule. And I was like, okay, at the time, it was like, all right,
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No problem. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to everybody else we was working with, but I just, you know what I'm saying, wasn't that kind of party. And so it was funny because when Candace and I, like, and Candace came, you know, she was asleep when we had the conversation, but then she woke up and she said it was actually that same weekend that we had a conversation about it. Because we was just around each other on the reg, and then it was like, whoa, it was like, okay, it's feeling like a little different, whatever. And then we had a conversation on, like, say, Friday, like, hey, this kind of feel like more than, and we was like, dang, like, this is weird. And then Monday, E called us into the office and was like, I promise you, we hadn't kissed, hugged, nothing. We just had a conversation. This was like, and E called us in the office and was like, I could see what's going on. Just want to let you know that y'all got whatever, I don't even know if y'all want it or need it, but y'all got my blessing, like, for real.
You felt it in the spirit, bro?
Listen, I've been married to this, we've been married over 10 years now.
Yeah.
And I mean, marriage, incredible. Like, you say, okay, what does this have to do with being a blessing? I'm telling you, even in E's mind, because of what he went through in the past and things like that, I think probably if he was acting in his own best interest, he knew how much influence he had over me. He could have easily been like, yo, see, kill that. It's not right. And I would have listened just because of where I was in life and the amount of reverence I have and still have for him. But E put what he thought could potentially be mine and Candace's best interest over even what the company best interest was. Because mind you, Candace was as ingrained into the ETA lifestyle as I was at this time. You know, but E, and I was thinking about, okay, when we think about what we're gonna talk about in terms of being a blessing and, you know, putting yourself in a position, I'm like, E was the ultimate blessing because do you know what a relief that was for me to be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And to have his permission and to have him go against what his philosophical beliefs were, his spiritual beliefs, all of that, to say, yo, go ahead, not have his own feelings in that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm E's two-man for.
Yeah.
It had, like, E being a dope speaker, that's not what it's about. It was always about E when we would go out to Cali and we didn't even have a lot of bread. I would see E like, yo, get all the kids over here and we just pay for everything. I'm like, E, it's a $400 tab. I only got paid $1,500 for this whole endeavor. He like, so, and so E, I don't know if we've ever broken down the psyche that goes behind not charity or welfare for people and just giving people money or nothing like that, but just the blessing and the psychology of being able to put others' needs before your own. You know what I'm saying? And like, we never talked about that. So you can speak on the Candace situation, you know, myself and Candace if you want to. This is a long time ago now. You're talking about 12, 13 years ago. But just like how you're able to analyze the situation and say, all right, what's good for them as opposed to what's good for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no question. And I think that was hard because, and I don't know how far we want to go back, but there were other people in the organization prior to that who wanted to date. And so we had really like shut the whole thing down. You know what I'm saying? Like we had shut the whole thing down.
And you know I was the muscle, so I was like, hey, there ain't gonna be no dating.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we had shut the whole thing
Candace
down.
came around like,
about that. You know what I'm saying?
In the room.
I'm just saying. So you gotta understand how awkward it was because he was the one pushing.
I was the enforcer.
Yeah, he was the one pushing. We're not doing it.
It was our rules.
And then he coming, now he doing it though.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing him do it. You know, but for me, I knew that relationship seemed like something that was built on a solid foundation. versus some other people was on some stuff where y'all might end up being together for a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? And it's worse on the company. And I'm gonna tell you where I got it from. I got it from my parents, because my mom was at Ford. And you couldn't date because what would happen was people who was married worked together. If something happened at the company, they tear the company. They up there keying cars, coming acting a fool, and making the company look bad. So I was like, yo, we can't have that.
Not to mention both of us was working.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the company then, but it was still a movement.
Yeah, it was still a movement. We were still
it was still,
creating
so it was like,
something.
man, I'm gonna lose, like, you're gonna lose Shaq and Kobe if this go wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They were the highest two operating at the time. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that, what they have is legit, and it could actually add to. And I just want to say this, because I want to say it in the beginning of the podcast, I am who I am because I realize when you got survive, strive, and thrive. People who look after themselves, bro, that's a jungle. Bro, that's a jungle, bro. Like that, you don't want to be in that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dealing with people, all they looking out is for themselves. Bro, I grew up on that. Like I grew up in the city. I grew up watching, GDs and folks talk about how they was down for each other, but then when they got put in that interrogation room, cats is
Ray did it.
Oh,
bruh,
singing.
I'm talking about, bro.
Singing.
I'm talking about singing, bro. I saw people on the block who were kingpins, and I saw cats who was coming up, and people pissed at people, and people killing people because they felt like, and I was like, yo, I don't want to be down where I got to watch my back. I saw Nino Brown. I saw Nino Brown, and I saw
G-Money.
Bro, I saw my man take his girl. It's like, bro, you got all of this. You got all of this, bro. You got to take my man girl. You got all kind of females. Why you got to take my man girl? Like you only looking out for you. And so I don't run with people who look out for themselves, because once it get ugly, they gonna take you out. Once it get to a point where it's between you and me, they gonna take. So I don't look out for people like, I'm like, bro, I don't want to be around you. Like, I'm not mad at you. You gotta survive. You gotta take care of you. But I don't need you to kill the flock because you got to eat. Like, I want you to get to the point where when it get downright ugly, that's when we really lock up and link up and go, all right, what we got to do to make us work. So people who on that stuff, you scare me because you don't have nobody's best interest but your own. And so as soon as it get ugly, and trust me, it's gonna get ugly. Like, we live in a real world, bro, where I saw something the other day I love. I saw Coco with training with Serena. And I'm like, that's what's up. Like, bump, okay, yeah, we got to play against each other. You beat my sister last year. Like, we got to play against each other. We all in the same, but we gonna look out for each other. We gonna train together. I'm gonna tell you everything I know. You feel me? And I'm gonna prepare you to, when we leave, to continue this legacy, if that makes sense.
That's what legacy is all about.
Me? Naomi calling Serena mom. You feel what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want to be around we, not I. Because, again, when it get ugly, you feel me? So for me, don't think I'm on this we stuff because I'm a good human. No, I'm really trying to survive. So I want to be with a pack of wolves that look after each other, so that as we're going through this journey and we come up against these trials and tribulations, we're coming up as a team. We're coming up together.
Yeah, but to your point, though, you think about it, and I think some people would have that mentality too, and it's like, yeah, I feel you, E, but like, ain't nobody looking out for me.
Yeah.
So it's nice to do when everybody on that tip, but when you just said, I live in an environment where it's dog eat dog, like take what you can get and run. And so how do you, I guess, justify that when you don't have...
because everybody ain't in that, everybody in the environment ain't on that. Like, you ain't gonna never find an environment just full of bad people or just full of good people.
I don't even mean bad people, but just people who look out for themselves.
But I'm just saying, you're never gonna be in an environment where all the people are looking out for themselves. You're gonna always be in an environment where some people are looking out for self and some people are looking out for each other. And I'm just saying, I wanna be with the people that's looking out for each other. Like, you look at Dr. Martin Luther King, he was obviously looking out for people. He obviously gave up his life for the good of the community. You know what I'm saying? You had Rosa Parks. But then you also had people who were shysters and whatever. And I just remember, man, when I was growing up, I remember I got to that point, I was about 16, 17, where Cass was like, yo, you're gonna have to sell dope. And I just was like, yo, I can't see myself taking money out your family's pocket so I can wear gym shoes. Yeah. Like, it just ain't that deep. Ain't no shoes that deep, bro. Ain't no hat or jogging suit or no car or no house that deep. Like, it's gotta be a way for me to be able to take care of myself without having to do that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Does that make sense? So, by the grace of God, see, I agree with you, but I just believe that it's optional. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no question.
Like it's two ways. Now, I will say this. I think there's more people, I think there's more people shiesty only because it's easier to do. Yeah. I think as more people was on the block doing crazy stuff, because it was available, it was accessible, it's like, it was easy to get to. You know, doing it the way I chose to do it was a little harder. Right. But I went by myself. Bob was there. You know, shiesty stuff don't last long. And it don't. But I'm saying, but people don't see that when they are in that, you know, in that space, if that makes sense. You know, for me, I see Tamal's point. I see when we do it as a group, it lasts longer. I see when you shiesty, yeah, you do get you, but it don't last as long. So for me, I just want people who are watching this podcast to understand, like, yo, we get it. You got survive, strive, thrive. You thrive when multiple people are looking after each other. That's how you thrive. Maul doing his thing over here, Josh doing his thing over here, you doing your thing over there, I'm doing my thing over here, we bring it together. I'm speaking, Beast Mode Digital come, Nikki say, hey, you here, I'm gonna get you here. And then when we get here, everybody benefits from that. But I see where people are on this, the only way I can be blessed is I gotta look after me. And I'm saying, no, it's the opposite. If Maul got my back and I got Maul back, then our peripheral, can't nobody get to us. But if you just got your back, you can't even see your back. Mm-hmm. You can't even see what's going on around you because you got your own back. But when we got each other's back, your back against my back, bruh, we can see at a 360-degree angle, if that makes sense. So nothing can come and destroy it. So for me, man, I just get so upset. You know, I'm just gonna be keeping 100, whether it's my church, whether it's ETA, whatever, my family. I tell my kids all the time, like, yo, you don't have to look out for you. We looking out for you. You got to look out for us. If that makes sense. I got your back. You got to have my back. And so I see people, and we had this debate. Me and Josh talked it through, but I was like, Josh, like, why you spend so much money? Why everybody flying first class? It was like, yo, Mo, I can't see myself in first class and everybody in the back. I'm not even saying that it's wrong. Economically. I'm not saying I'm right for doing it economically, but I'm just saying, like, I can't see myself advancing and my team don't advance. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I just can't see that. So with the first class boy, but here's what I'm not on. I'm not on give me first class and everybody else sit in the back. Like, give me first class for me and my wife, and I'm not considering nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if we don't have the money to do it, I'm still considering it. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out, like, yo, how do we do this? Like, how do I get blessed and you get blessed? But there are people who are like, yo, as long as they can go on a trip, they cool. As long as they can fly first class, as long as they can get paid, I'm not on that. Man, I remember a group of people came to me, and I'm telling you, bro, when you blind, you blind. I'm just being real. When you blind, you blind. I remember a group of people came to me and was like, yo, E, I'm gonna show you how much money you can make. I was like, all right, bet, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, bet. Okay, boom, we going millions and millions and millions. And then when we started doing the percentages, they was getting percentages and I was getting a percent and nobody said nothing about CJ. And I was like, I must look stupid. But like, why would I don't even know you. Right. Why would I do something with you when I don't even know who you are? Yeah. And you sitting here telling me you could make all of this, give me this, but you don't say nothing about C that got, I'm like, okay, keep talking. Yeah. Like, what, if you X C out, then you will X me out. Mm-hmm. You feel me? If the person that helped me get to the top, if they helped me get to the top and you didn't help me get to the top and you willing to X them out, well, the only reason I'm in it is because you feel like you need me in order to get it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because if you could get it by yourself, you would get it by yourself. Exactly. So the fact that you didn't include the squad or the family, and you showing me where your hand is. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that don't make you a bad person, but you on some surviving stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not on surviving. I'm not even on striving, bro. I'm thriving. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm at a point where I don't have need for nothing. Yeah. Like, I'm an overflow. Yep. You feel me? Like, I'm good. Like, money, whatever, relationship. I'm Niagara Falls, bro. Like, I don't need nothing at this point. So you sitting me down and showing me how I can XC out, bruh. What part of that? Now, a fool would be like, ooh, I get the XC out,
Right.
and then I make a bigger chunk.
Of course.
But I'm only making the chunk I'm making because I'm with C.
Yeah.
And so no part of me more would ever go, oh, I'm deep by myself. That's what happens when you're on a solo. Like you don't think. You're not smart. There's no part of me would go, oh, I'll be here. I don't like. So when people say, AE, man, you the #1 motivational speaker in the world. Like as a speaker, your numbers is huge. Like you got 1.5, whatever. I would never go, I do, don't I? I'm just that sweet of a speaker. I would never do that. I know I'm not stupid. I know the work that Beast Mode Digital does hides my flaws, capitalizes on my strengths. What's the word I want to look for? Like seizes opportunities for time frame. And bro, if I had to just do this on my own, I wouldn't be here. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not stupid. But you gonna throw some money at me and now I'm supposed to be stupid and chase after money and forget principle. So I'm saying people who look out for themselves, it's just not biblical. The Bible says, right? And I think this is sweeter than Harold and Eric. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says it's better to give than receive. But guess what? Receiving, if you're not smart, feels better. So you do what feels better. That's not what the biblical principle is. It says better to give than to receive. Most people are so, forgive me for saying this, spiritually ignorant because you'd be geeked about somebody giving you 1,000 when what the Bible says is you should be geeked about giving 1,000. You understand what I'm saying? You in the world where the world's like, somebody just gave me $1,000.
I'm blessed.
You're not blessed.
You're blessed when you can give.
You're not blessed. The Bible says you blessed when you give the 1,000, not when you receive the 1,000. Press down, shaking together, and run over. And I had to grow. We were at breakfast not too long ago. Me, Nick, and Nikki. I think that's who it was. Yeah, and we went to the Waffle House. And they paid for it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm the old head here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I got it. But I didn't say anything because I was like, if you take it, you're gonna take their blessing. You feel me? So like, don't mess this up. Like, I know where you at. I'm the oldest. I got this. Don't worry about it. But they are literally acting the principle out that's biblical. So you can't be like, no, I got it. Don't worry about it. No, they physically have to do that because they gonna get the blessing that comes from that. So then what's gonna end up happening is, as we're all together, we're gonna be fighting, but it's gonna be a generosity war. And then we're gonna be blessed because of generosity war. Whereas I remember back in the day when I would go out with certain people, like, yo, for real, it is every time we go out, I got to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping.
You had cheese on your eggs. That's an extra 30 cents. That's your bill.
You feel me? Or, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. But let me just make sure I'm clear. The principle is it's better to give than receive. Press down, shaking together, and running over. So there are people who are like, I flew first class. What about if you bless somebody to fly first class? Oh, I say in the presidential suite. What if you bless somebody to stay in the president? I'm just telling you what the Bible said. And I'm talking to Christians. Because a lot of Christians be on that scripture, but they not living it. They want to be the ones on the receiving end. And the blessing doesn't come from the receiving end. The blessing comes from the giving end. So we got a trip coming up for my church, bro. I'm so geeked. Because to C's point on the last episode, it might cost us all about 180 grand to make this work. But I'm going to pay for kids to get exposure. Like in 2020, I'm not waiting on your mama to do it because your mama might not even know how important exposure is. Your daddy might not know how exposure is. So not only are we going to Disney World, we staying on the property. We're gonna stay in the hotel on the campus so you can just walk two full meals, 2 snacks a day, right? In and out of every pad. You got pads to go out, in and out of all them jokers. We flying a chartered flight together. We go our own plane.
I'm going to fly to Lansing to fly to, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go there just to fly on the joint.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Right there. No, we're going to leave, fly there, come back.
But to your point of exposure, I'm going to pay for exposure now. Before I leave this earth, I'm not going to wait for kids' parents to do it because they might have got the wrong parent lottery. So your mama would prefer to go and get her hair and her nails done than give you exposure because your mama don't know how important exposure is.
She don't see the value.
She don't see the value of it.
She don't.
But she see the value in going to the city and getting that $400, $600 wig. And having homegirl pay for that wig that she can walk away. She does see the value. She see the purse and the value of the shoe, but she don't see the purpose of giving you exposure. So we're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna be your 2020 father because it hit me, Ma. All these kids was like, you like a father to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not. I got 2 kids. And God was like, no. You got 2 kids that you birth.
Yeah.
You got a generation of kids. And it's your response. I'm blessing you to be a blessing.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so I'm Geek Ma, not because my babies went to Disney World. Not me and Didi get to go to Disney World. My kids went. No. You're not doing, y'all gotta hear me. You're not doing anything when you do for your own.
Yeah.
That's expected, Ma. You're supposed to do for yours.
Yeah.
Now you need to grow up and get to the next level and say, how many kids can I be a father to that didn't get fathered?
Yeah.
You feel me? And so we going, and I'm so excited. We getting the shirts made. We getting on the plane. They getting the bus. They getting chartered there. They getting chartered to the spot. We videoing it. The whole 9. We gonna eat good. Y'all gonna meet the characters. I want you, if you're a young girl, I want you in the princess outfit. Cause I hate when we go and you see the other kids in the princess outfit and you got on the FUBU. Where you get the FUBU outfit from? You walk around with a FUBU boy on.
You got the shirt with somebody wrote on there.
Yeah, somebody wrote Mickey on there.
My first Disney trip.
Yeah, right. You feel me? I'm like,
Bro, you know
that.
how that exposure is gonna hit them, man?
And that's why I'm doing it because, and here's 2 things I want to do. 1, I want the exposure to hit them, but then I want them to get the exposure from church so that they have a good...
They can see where it came from.
You feel me? Yeah. Now they saying this is what happens when you do what God tell you to do.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now it's not the dope boy sent me to Disney World.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Somebody that I know doing some dirt sent me. Yeah. No, the church sent me so that you can have a positive experience when it comes with the church and not, grown folk who just got a terrible experience with the church. Church, what does the church do? Why? Because you used to go in the church and the pastor got, no disrespect, but the pastor doing 2, 3 offerings. Yeah. Like you in a church where it's about you got to give to the church so the church could survive and not that the church is being a blessing to you. Yeah. And I just want kids to see, this church is going to be a blessing to you. We're going to help you go to college. We're going to help you with marital counseling. We're going to help send you to Disney World. And then what we want you to do when you grow up is we want you to become a producer and not a consumer. Yeah. And that's really what it's about. When you're a receiver, not in a bad way, because sometimes God wants us to receive, but sometimes as a receiver, we're consumers. Mm-hmm. We got a consumer mindset, whereas God is asking you to give. Why? Because he's a producer. Yeah. He is the creator. He creates, he produces, and he's asking us to create opportunities for people, to produce for other people. And so many of us, for real, we got a poverty mindset. We think first about, all right, so I want to say this last one. So we got the extreme execution as a part of the brand now, right? So Nikki had hit us this week and was like, I got a $10,000, hookup opportunity for the squad. You know what I'm saying? Like a team. I'm like, all right, cool. I already told you what the percentage was, so you can do whatever you want to do, but I got you. So she said, all right, I got 10. I forgot what it was she did, but she ended up getting a $10,000 hookup. So then Tiffany called me and was like, you got to call Moose right now. I was like, all right. She's like, no, I want to say it, but I don't want to rob him of his testimony. You got to call Moose right now. Call Moose. I was like, all right. I called Moose. Moose was like, yo, so Nikki got that 10 grand, right? I just signed a contract for 47 grand. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, let's go. Yeah. And Val hit me, was like, whoa, Nikki got 10. I got to get busy. Yeah. I told Moose, I'm like, Moose, I'm about to get 100 this week. I'm about to get 100, bro. I'm about to double your little 50 and get this little 100 boy going. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Bro, I'd rather be a part of that kind of crew than you leaving your wallet and somebody on your squad, you know what I'm talking about, somebody's on your team. Yeah. You with your girl and your homeboy and try to call your girl. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, bro. Where you with a crew that you got to watch your back like they snakes. Yeah. Your own crew is snakes. Yeah. And we all know the history. Yeah. All kingdoms, great kingdoms came down by people who work together, not the people outside the wall. It was always somebody inside the wall. Yep. You know what I'm saying? That Judas is all somebody inside the crew. Yeah. That, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the people outside the crew that's taking you out. Right. It's inside the crew that's taking you out. Right. So it's good to be with a group of people who are not trying to survive, who are not even trying to strive, but who are trying to thrive. Because what happens when we all thrive is Niagara Falls for everybody, baby. Exactly. We all benefit off of everybody's effort and everybody's work.
Yeah, and my only question would be if I'm the one who's in that crew and I'm on that, and nobody else is on that.
Somebody got to be on it.
No, I'm just saying, I agree with you. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying, okay, but I'm saying, this wasn't always our squad. There was a time and place. No. It was a time and place before this where we wasn't all.
Never. And I'm going to tell you why. This how
we
good
were
God
never
is.
around other cats that
Never.
was takers?
Watch this. This is how good God is. I picked the wrong people.
It's cap.
I picked
Double cap.
Watch this. I'm gonna show you why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
Grace.
Okay.
I picked the wrong people, and God attracted the right people to me. I ain't even pick C, but God knew who I was and how I got down.
Yeah.
So even though I wasn't smart enough to pick him, his father got and father sent him. I wasn't smart enough. I had picked this one dude. Candace was like, sit down, little man. I'm the president of this company. I never even made Candace the president of the company. So what I'm saying to you is God always knew my heart and where I was, and it was magnetic. I brought them in. And guess what? As soon as I brought them in, guess what she said? Bro, you got to sit down and go somewhere. You got to sit down and go somewhere. Candace, you got to sit down and go somewhere. You got to sit down. So God always, when your spirit is in the right place and your heart's in the right place, he always going to bring the right people to you, bro.
Always.
You know how many people want to be down?
Always.
How many people want to be in the crew? You know what I'm saying? And people who might have been here before, who not here no more. Because God was like, Eric, you ain't smart enough to know, but I know your heart and what you're trying to do, and I'm going to attract those people to you. So that's why I meant not me always, but God always knew who I was and who I needed to be sitting around by, and he brought those right people to you. Put the cap on him.
No. Okay, I got you. Okay, I see where he took it left. That's what he do.
I took it right all the time.
He brought it back on.
Hey,
He brought it back on.
Anytime he lose an argument, he be like, look, the Lord said. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's his go-to, man. All right.
Hey. One.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's he go-to every time he loses an argument. You know what I'm saying? He be like, God said in Philippians.
I'm just saying,
Like,
God brought you.
But when you look at it, though, to this point, you got to look at the God in it, bro.
Yeah.
You got to look at the God in it.
And who you are, you're going to track.
Yeah, no, I'm just speaking to the
Yeah.
frustration. And again, my job on this podcast is to be the contrarian, but I'm speaking to the frustrations of the people who got people drilling holes in the ceiling above them while they trying to do a podcast.
They're not going to stop the podcast.
Yeah, that's
Can you hear it? You ain't going to be able to hear it that much stronger.
you can hear it.
You can't.
Oh, yeah,
You're not going to be able to hear it in the mic like that.
Well, hey, if you do hear it. No, so what was I saying?
The trill in the hole in the wall.
Yeah, I know.
Was distraction.
Oh, no. Speaking to the frustrations of the people who, like, I'm listening to this podcast and I'm on that, man, but like my people ain't on that. And the only reason I know is because they come up to me after the conference all the time. And they like, dog, they like, yo, I'm out here and it's me. Well, let's look at Maul, for example.
There you go.
Maul was in a position where, I'm not saying you have bad friends. It's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about that next level, right?
Next level.
And Maul was like, yo, I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Now you have it now.
Right.
But there was a point.
But I had to travel for that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's true.
I had to travel for it.
And had it.
Yeah.
And had it. Before you even knew you had it, I'm saying God had put you in it, and you had already had it. Like, you had us.
But I'm saying he didn't have us in the way, you know what I mean, that he has us now. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I'm coming to the conferences.
Yeah, but I'm telling them, don't get frustrated because you're attracting.
But that go back to what E talking about as far as the team. One thing my football coach back in the day, always relates stuff to sports.
Yep.
One thing my football coach used to always say, team, the acronym for team is together, everyone accomplishes more. People don't understand that. That's the acronym for team. Together, everyone accomplishes more. I seen them cats, man, that played ball with us that was on the individual stuff. When you ever see a team where it's just an individual on that team, they never win a championship. That individual set records. He's an all-star. He does all that stuff individually, but that team does not win championships. And the crazy part about it is when I was out there just in Chicago in my circle, I felt like I was a team member. I wanted other team players. But every time I linked with people, they was on their individual stuff. Like, man, I'm trying to put up, and it wasn't a team, it wasn't collective. And then so now it wasn't until I linked with y'all just from just look at us right now. Just to go back to E Point, you can see the God in it. All of us are from different places. We was sitting up talking, and I think you was talking about it yesterday. When you just look at all of our backstories. All of us have a story. While E was eating our trash cans. I was
12 to get a 4.
I was getting shot at as a police officer. You was 10
Still killing the game.
You know what I'm saying?
She said he was still killing the game.
C was
still fly. You know what I'm saying? C was still C, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. C minimum.
I think at that very moment in time, C was looking up at the green machine, getting tearing his ACL, getting hurt. You know, being one of the top ranked football.
Yeah, that was 2001.
I
2000.
I got on the police in 2000. I got shot at.
And I was almost finishing my 4 and 12.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You see how everybody's stories, though. The team.
Yep.
Everybody got a story. I'm sure Josh was going through something at the time. Carl was going through something at the time. So, you know, it's about that team, man. And you know, sometimes you got to go far.
The crazy thing is, though, like, you know, it's hard to penetrate this circle, period. But it's impossible if you come in with a taker's mentality.
Yeah.
And we've had people try to do it on a regular basis. Like, yo, and here go the thing. You know what bugs me even more than like, because they listen to the podcast now.
Right.
I don't like the pseudo humble.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna act like I'm trying to, but really I got this ulterior motive. So shout out to Marcus and Reggie from DC Invest. The crazy thing is, so DC Invest, now mind you, they spent money to sponsor the conference, so they got a speaking slot. I'm telling them like, okay, cool, here go your time to speak. I'm like, Reg, make sure you talk about he was like, oh, I wasn't about to talk about the company. I was like, what? He was like, no, I was just about to go on there. I know what Maul talks about. I believe so heavily in what y'all doing with the real estate. It's freed my family financially. I was about to talk about my family and like what real estate did for us and why y'all need to take Maul course. I was blown away just because I was like, bro, you sponsor, you paid to sponsor. Like, so this is like, I'm not even on like you don't know taking stuff. Like, this is what you paid to do. Get the people your website, tell them.
I think he forgot to do that.
He didn't forgot. I'm saying because he has such, this is why E is a horrible pastor too, because he don't ask for tithes. No, I'm saying, I'm teasing. E forgets to ask for tithes.
Literally.
He is such in the, what can I do for other people? I promise you. Like we had church and then he'd be like, all right, y'all go in peace. And then everybody be like, oh, you know, like the members of the church that's, you gotta make sure the bills are paid. Be like, oh, no, come back. We need to, and he'd be like, oh, my bad, y'all, tithes and offering. Let's go. You know what I mean? But like,
and to his point, haven't taken a salary, bro.
Right.
They called me the other day, like, yo, you ready to start taking your salary? I'm like, are we in the churches? Are we in a position to give me that kind of salary?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, are we in a position for me to get that kind of money and that y'all not where y'all? I couldn't see myself eating and driving 2 fancy cars a year, and y'all can barely eat. It's like, yo, let's do that when everybody's straight and everybody taken care of.
That's the definition of a team captain, though.
Yeah.
That's the definition. People don't understand that.
Yeah, people want to be. They want to be first.
They want to be first.
And they want everybody.
I'm doing all the work. I should be. I. And that's the thing, bro.
you gotta speak French.
Oh, we.
Bonjour.
No. Yeah, no, it is. And I think, you know, again, to kind of bring this full circle, because I know our team got to run. We're going to pray y'all make it to the airport on time, Nick. No, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, look, he was like, what time y'all flight? 12? You get there about 11:57, you'll be fine. So,
tell him you was video of
No. But listen, but to bring this back full circle to E's point, the reason that he was able to attract high-level people, such as myself, you know what I'm saying? Anybody can attract the scrub. You want to attract some real... No, it's, in all seriousness, it is because the selflessness.
Yeah.
You know, you've heard me talk about it before, but I just never had been around somebody where it's like E would demand, like we get into a hotel with 1 bed, he'll be like, yo, I will really crash on the floor and really grab a cover and sleep on the floor. And not like one time to impress you. I'm talking about the whole week. You know what I'm saying? Or like multiple trips at a time. And I remember people thinking, is this dude real?
Yeah.
Like, is he really like this all the time? Or is this like a front or an act? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would really speak to every single person on campus. Yeah. I'm talking about whether they spoke back or not. Yeah. Like, you know, you walk past somebody in the hallway, he ain't the one. Yeah. Like, he will he gonna make you say hello. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how he is. But he's been, in his, you know, defense, he's been like that forever since I met him. It's the exact same mentality. And I just look at what he's able to attract into his life, not just now, even back then. Yeah. Like, he been like ridiculously blessed. Like, before the money, before anything, like, I would just see the things that he attracted into his life. And I was like, yo, I gotta be able to do that. I gotta be able to put other people first. I gotta be able to look out for people. And to your point now, that I'm even grown even more in my manhood, it's like, okay, yeah, your kid's straight. But how many other people's kids can you make straight? And so it was like, for me, it was like this, where it was like, okay, you good, you and Candace good, you and your family good. And it's like now you're looking to see like how many people, you know, can come into this influence and how many other people can you, man, let me tell you something. It feels so good. You talking about, I mean, think about it. Moose called you and said he got a $47,000 check. Moose came through Game Changers.
Yeah.
Moose was he came through the program.
Yeah.
How you think, I feel when I get messages from people like, yo, see, you showed us how to, boom, and I'm doing this, and I'm killing the game here, and I'm killing the game here. I promise you, that feels better than getting our own contract. And I know it sounds weird, but like, I'm like, yo, they really getting blessed on a whole nother level. So it's just amazing to see that next level and to watch people really, you know, grow from what, you know, you're able to pass on. So it's just that mentality, dog. And I think, you know, it is missing. And I feel sorry for y'all who are, you know, don't have them type of people in your life. But to E's point, continue to live it and continue to attract those things into your life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
but at any moment, did you ever get discouraged, bro? Or you think E ever got discouraged to the point where it's just like, man, I'm just doing, you know, and I'm not seeing a return quick enough. Even though you're not looking for the return, but you just like, man, is it just me? Am I crazy?
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. I think it's human nature to get somewhat discouraged. But I also think like one of E's superpowers is being able to overcompensate, if you will. So E believes in the power of the tongue so much, and he believes in willing things into existence, that like I would watch him when things wouldn't go our way, and he would like deliberately pivot and be like, we good? Because this, you know what I'm saying? Boom, we just start working on something else. And I don't know, and I'll ask him when he comes back, but I don't know if that was intentional to keep us from panicking, or if he just really was always on that. E, you can answer that question.
Yeah, no, I was serious.
Did you hear what I said?
I was on that, I was on that.
No, I know, but I'm saying, I know you didn't want us to panic or be like,
well, no. What I didn't want to do was, I didn't want to mess up our energy that we had.
Right.
I'm saying we had an energy.
But I'm saying you get frustrated.
No. You don't get frustrated to the point where you stop going towards your goal. So for me, it was like, even with the bank situation, the reason why I wasn't tripping is because in my mind, I was like, yo, we ain't counting on the bank anyway to do what we trying to do. We counting on God. The bank was just a, what do you call it? You know how you running your routes? You doing squats or you doing suicide? Suicides ain't about what gonna make you win the game. You know what I'm saying? But you know, suicides is a part of the process. Like you have to practice, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's just like, yo, we can't allow anything to stop our momentum. We can't, like, can we be frustrated or can we be disappointed? Yeah, but not to the point where we're wasting 2 days crying, moping, whining. Like, we have to stay positive, because if we stay positive and we give 120%, nothing is gonna be able to stop us. And you see, I say this all the time, not to brag. It was 3 of us, and then you add LaShawna later with the paperwork, and we number 1 in the world. We never had an office. Like, we never had an office complex. We never had sponsors. We never had a marketing team. What did we have? We had a focus and we had a bunch of energy. And we stayed true to that focus and we kept putting that energy on it. And that's why we are where we are. So to me, I feel like when you're a taker, you actually stop momentum. Like when you start being a taker, you're stopping the universe from blessing you. And when you give, you are demanding the universe to give to you, because to the same measure that you get, it's going to be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together. So every time I give, I'm forcing the universe to give me. So when I take these kids on this trip, I'm taking a group of kids that ain't my kids. I am forcing the universe to look after my grandkids.
Yeah, you planting seeds.
I'm demanding that when I'm gone, we still gonna be blessed. Like this name will still be, oh, you Martin Luther King's son? They gonna open doors for him. Look, this thing's so crazy, y'all. These videos and all the stuff we doing. I know it seems small, but it's huge. I get to the airport, the kid that's working the, what do you call that, y'all? When you go to drop your bags off outside, curbside. That curbside was like, yo, bro, I know who you are. I don't need your ID, right? Check all my stuff in. He wrote his name down. I can't say what airport. He said, here, take my card. If you are ever running late, just call me before the 45-minute thing. Call me when you're getting on the road and tell me you're on the road, and I'll just print your stuff out and have your stuff here waiting. So don't rush no more. Like, don't rush to get to the airport. If you only want to get here 15, 20 minutes in advance, don't trip on the hour or 45 minutes that your bags. I'll print your stuff out, have it ready, and we'll make sure it get to the airport when you get here. I was like, what? what kind of foolishness? Bro, this don't even make sense. Like, I could see people paying for your food at a restaurant. Like, that makes sense. You can, You, like, even though everybody don't get it, it make hotels looking out for me. I get it. But my man said, bump the 45-minute hookup. You just tell me what time you're gonna be here. I'll print all your tags out and put them jokers on. And I went to the airport the other day, and the dude was like, oh, like, whatever. We going back and forth. And then put my stuff on, and Moose was like, yo, what just happened? I was like, what you mean by that? He's like, bro, we're at the airport. He never asked for your ID. He's like, bro, you can't do that. That's illegal, E. And he just took all your bags and put on. He don't look at the weight or nothing. And I was just like, bro, he was like, blessed. Then I had 2 hats. I gave him a tip. He's like, bro, take this back. Can I get the hat, please? I was like, okay, if you want it, but I just gave you $20. He was like, no, take the 20 back. I just want that hat that you wear. I was like, all right, cool. And then he was like, can you sign your name on it? So I signed my name on it.
Oh, that's priceless.
Bro, we got to the Miami airport early. Bro, I walk in, this white kid follows me, young white kid. He's like, yo, who are you? I was like, nobody. He's like, no. That dude talked about you when I put my bags in. He talked about you the whole time I was standing outside, bro.
Wow.
And how grateful he was for you. Who are you? And I was like, bro, I'm not nobody. He's like,
by the way, Maul gets offended when people don't know who. As we saw, he was coming in the hotel. Yeah. My man was standing there, and he was like, when he around, it's apparent that he's somebody because people walking up asking for pictures and the whole nine, and everybody else just standing, look like a deer in the headlights, like. Yeah. Okay, if you don't know who he is, who is he? Yeah. So my man was down there and was like, man, who is Eric Thomas? And we was like, he speaks? And we was like kind of walking in. He's like, no, I ain't never heard of my man. Why everybody want pictures of him, da. Maul was like, have you ever heard of options? And then what'd you say?
Yeah, I was like, well, the thing about it, bro, first off, I'm a disciple, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got to say nothing. I'm going to say it. Yeah. Like, hey, my middle name ain't Thomas.
But what was it called?
So my man was like, who is Eric Thomas? And he's like, I've never heard of him. And I was like, well, he's the #1 motivational speaker in the world, bro. I was like, man, you should really, go on YouTube and listen to him. I was like, man, my brother.
He was like, I never heard of him.
And he's like, he did it again. Instead of saying, oh, thanks for the information, I'm going to check him out. He said, I never heard of him. I said, all right, my man. Have you ever heard of options? He's like, yeah. I said, have you ever heard of puts and calls? He's like, no. I was like, exactly. I said, it's people out here making hundreds of millions of dollars every single day from puts and calls, but you never heard of them. Right. So just because you never heard of them, don't mean it don't exist. And then I walked up, my man was like, oh.
Bro, I was sitting there, I said, Maul, that was a little excessive. Little man was like, okay.
Hey, the D come about him, dog. Like, hey.
I bet you he go.
Bro, man. He right on there.
Not only is he exactly. Not only is he Eric Thomas, puts and calls.
Oh, man. All right, I wish we had longer. Hey, next week we're going to get back. We'll give y'all an extended one. We'll be back in we'll be back in our studio. We had a whole 9, the right mics, everything.
Our
crew, the whole crew standing up. They ready to go. They got their stuff packed. We got 1 camera shooting. Exactly. We love y'all, man. We'll make sure we get a full-length joint to look, he gonna take a picture. Look at it.
He taking a picture.
Hey, listen, if y'all don't make it to the airport, just look for one of them ET fans.
All right.
Tell my man, throw all your luggage in there and let y'all get through quicker, man. We love y'all, man. Hey, shout out to Organifi, our sponsor. Shout out to all the dates. Go to etinspires.com/events.
And shout out to DC Invest.
DC Invest, the sponsors.
Yep.
That's it. They gotta
go, y'all.
See you next week.
Let's go.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.